All right, guys. So it looks like MrBeast is finally going to break his silence on all of the allegations and all of the drama. And it looks like that is going to take place on a platform that I would have never expected MrBeast to appear on. And no, it's not Dogpack. It is actually a YouTuber who has gotten more views than anyone, I would argue. And that is MrPegasus. Yes, this is the guy. This is a commentary YouTuber who I believe is from Canada. I don't even think he's from the United States. And this guy has made a lot of videos on MrBeast, and every single video he makes on MrBeast gets 1 to 2 million views. He has gotten an insane amount of views covering the MrBeast drama. And apparently he spoke to MrBeast, and MrBeast is going to, or was going to, appear on his channel to discuss everything. And it may or may not happen. Let's just kind of get into the story here. So I was actually in the middle of about to make a completely different video on something else. And when I was doing research for that video, I stumbled upon this community post. So I said, okay, forget that video. I need to cover this ASAP because this is crazy. So let's just go ahead and zoom in and let's read MrPegasus community post. It says here, so I talked to MrBeast behind the scenes in a couple of calls. We had a real, genuine conversation about everything. Jimmy admits he did a lot of wrong, but also wants to clarify a lot of the misinformation / lies about him as well. We had a call off the record. We agreed not to record, where we had a few responses that cleared up some confusion and helped this case partly. We then set up an actual interview to post on the channel today, and I asked him about every single allegation. I prepped questions for the last 2 days. He seemed excited about finally getting his perspective out there, but literally last minute before the recorded interview, his team canceled and said they want to do an in-person interview rather than an online one. Spoilers, I don't live in America, so we can't do that. I personally don't think it makes a difference at all, and you guys wouldn't really mind an online interview. We just want him to respond. He then apologized to me for wasting my time, but yeah, that's what happened the last few days. Now, before we get to the rest of what he actually said, I just want to point out, it's so strange that he was literally about to do the interview, and at the last minute, he's like, oh, I actually want it in person. To me, that just screams setup. Like, for me, if I'm a YouTuber like MrPegasus and I've been critical of you for a while and I've been talking crap about you, which MrPegasus has, he has been very critical of MrBeast and making fun of him and laughing and getting millions of views covering the drama and all of the negative publicity that MrBeast has been getting. So I would just say, just because you get on a phone call with that person doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden buddy. Like, it just always screams setup vibes to me when you make videos being critical of somebody and then all of a sudden they're like, it's okay, all is forgiven. Why don't you come on down and meet me in person? Like, if I were MrPegasus, I would not do that. I would not go and meet this guy in person at all. Do the online interview. If he won't do the online interview, oh well. Because chances are, if he won't do the online interview, you might fly all the way to North Carolina, wherever he lives. You might still not get an interview. You might just get jumped. I don't know. I don't trust people. You got to be careful out here. Let's go ahead and continue to read the rest of what he sent in his community post. Anyways, if he changes his mind, I'm still down. You can expect a fair interview with hard-hitting questions. I keep it real and do not bend for bigger YouTubers. It means nothing to me. I still think it's best to do it on this channel specifically, and he'd convince the most people here, as it's been the forefront of the drama. But it's his decision in the end. I guess I might just cover the interview when it drops on some other channel. He hasn't decided where yet. Okay, see, this is the important part. So MrPegasus has basically exposed that MrBeast in the near future at some point is going to do an interview where he goes over all the allegations. And MrPegasus is basically saying that MrBeast hasn't decided where yet, which tells me that when him and MrBeast spoke, MrBeast probably hinted at the fact that, well, there's other people that he might possibly do the interview with. Now, me personally, I think MrPegasus will be the best person because I do think that MrPegasus would ask the hard-hitting questions. I don't think Pegasus will go soft. I don't think that he would, bend the knee, as they say, for a bigger YouTuber get scared. However, that could go out the window if you do the interview in person. It could be a lot more intimidating if you're there in person with him, around all his people, around all his lawyers, around all his meat riders. It's a different vibe doing these types of interviews in person rather than doing it online in the comfort of your home where he lives, which, again, I believe is in Canada. I think the best content you're going to get would be if they did it virtually. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully he goes on this channel. I hope he goes on this channel, not one of those softball channels with a huge following, because it just wouldn't work. I mean, I'm not trying to get political, but I mean, look at Kamala Harris. Like, how well did that work out for her, where she went and she did interviews with basically every softball person ever that she paid. Like, you know, but that's a different story. Bottom line is, softball interviews never go well. People don't like them. People want the authentic realness. They want the real questions that they want the answers to. Anyway, he also said, as for Soggy Cereal's video, some things were right, but some were pretty wrong too. But feel free to watch it if you want. I may cover on it later, but I'm obviously more interested in talking to MrBeast directly at the moment, so we can finally finish the saga for real. I honestly don't know what's next. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So basically, yeah, this guy had a conversation with MrBeast. Very interesting that MrBeast chose him. But again, he's gotten so many views. So this tells me now that MrBeast 1000% knows who he is, probably watched every single video, because MrBeast is like, wow, this guy is commenting on me and just getting an insane amount of views. Like, seriously, MrBeast has, I mean, let's just go to this guy's channel, because I'm not going to lie to you, MrBeast made this guy a lot of money, which there's nothing wrong with that. We're all YouTubers. That's what we do. That's what people want to watch. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, look at all these views this guy got. Matter of fact, let's just go to popular, because his most popular videos are the MrBeast videos. Yeah, look at that. 7.5 million views, 5.2, 2.7. This guy easily made 100 to 200K, probably more than that, just covering MrBeast. I don't know if he did any sponsorships along with this, but just off ad revenue, he easily made 100 to 200,000, maybe even more than that, covering MrBeast. But the bottom line is, I do think that this guy has done a very good job. I think he's been the best YouTuber in terms of covering the MrBeast drama, and I really hope that MrBeast goes on this guy's platform. I think it'll be good. I think you'll finally be able to hash out everything. Based on More Pegasus's conversation with MrBeast, he basically said that MrBeast had some pretty good explanations for some of the things. So I think a full interview would definitely be in order, and he'd finally be able to put everything to the side and pretty much move on, honestly. I think this would be everything that we would need to hear, because at the end of the day, nothing happened to MrBeast, okay? All the videos that we all made and all the accountability and all that, it didn't work. It's just that simple. It didn't work. He's still extremely famous. At the end of the day, nobody really cared. There's a small section of YouTube that cares, that watches all the drama videos. But besides that, his overall fan base doesn't care. They're still buying his crappy chocolate. They're still buying his Lunchly. They're still watching his videos. He's still getting an insane amount of views. Like, it's sad, but it's true. When it comes to these famous influencers, they honestly could do no wrong. Like, they could kind of do anything and get away with it. It's kind of sad, but it's like really true. And yeah, anyway, that's my rant for this video. Very sad that once again, another big YouTuber escaped accountability. Speaking of a YouTuber that escaped accountability, at some point, I am going to make another video on Graham Stephan, because that is another YouTuber who escaped accountability, who, you know, the whole thing with, I can't even remember the name of the bank, with Yada Bank and all that. So, yeah, at some point, I'm going to make a video on Graham Stephan too, because we try our best on this channel to hold YouTubers accountable, even though it doesn't really work that well, typically. Anyway, that's today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.